obviously some control. Or intuitively, let's say provisionally, as a working theory, there seems to be some control over all these things. It's just a natural assumption. If you want to assert the contrary, go ahead, but then give evidence that no, here's something that doesn't work under any superior control. Can't even think of any instance. Something just happens without some controlling principle behind it. The apple falls from the tree, it doesn't ascend from the tree, because there's some control in it. The planets stay in some orbit, there's some control there. The ocean propagated, it doesn't just suddenly cover the city of Los Angeles. There's some control. So these three things, material manifestation and living beings, and the system of control behind it all, maybe the source of that system of control, these things should be explained. In the school, you will not get an adequate. Particularly, all right, they can explain the material world to some extent. They have some expertise there within a limited sphere. About the living beings, they're hopeless. And about control, so we're taking knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam. And this was the focus. Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't just mean Radha Krishna Lila, Govardhan Lila, Vrindavan Lila, even Dwarka Lila. Who is it that's performing all these things? It's Krishna. Who is Krishna? It requires some study. And where does that study begin? Hida. With where we are and what we see. What is this world? How is it controlled? Who is it behind? Who's behind it? How does he control it? What are its various energies? And by studying these things, our minds become pure. By understanding the nature of Krishna, by understanding the nature of Krishna's power, mind and intelligence become purified. And in the advanced stage, you'll understand so many things. But if we think we'll just jump right into and dive into topics of the 10th canto, the spiritual world will envelop me. There's a system for understanding the science of Krishna, and it begins here in the beginning of Srimad. So you'll have to patiently hear Srimad Bhagavatam as presented by Jayadvaita Swami. We'll be able to understand everything. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Okay, let's give a book then.
Thank you so much.
Who has this book? Show of hands. Okay. Who's read this book? Show of hands. So, those of you who haven't read it, please read it. Those of you who don't have it, please get it. Yes. You'd like to get it?
Yes.
Okay. Here you go. Some donation is appreciated. You can give to such and such. Yes, this is a book meant for every devotee who's interested in kirtan and Srila Prabhupada's. What Prabhupada taught us about kirtan, what are standards, what are teachings regarding performing kirtan, doing kirtan. Because although Smarane and Nakala, there are no hard and fast rules from one point of view, still there were ways that Prabhupada wanted us to do kirtan, and there were ways that he definitely did not want us to do kirtan. In fact, my favorite entry in the index kirtans stopped by Srila Prabhupada because of, there's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 because of 14 different reasons why he stopped kirtan. He came to introduce kirtan, to push kirtan. And for 14 different reasons, he just stopped the kirtan. Stop. Kirtans stop. Under kirtans stop.
Yes.
What were some of the reasons?
No morning tune.
No morning tune. And
No, Mridanga too fancy.
Mridanga too fancy.
Need to listen and follow.
Need to listen and follow. Someone was just in his own world and not following.
Hare Krishna not chanted.
Hare Krishna not chanted, everything else but Hare Krishna.
Bhaja Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhupada didn't. Don't add anything, don't subtract anything, don't change anything. And there are multiple examples where he stopped the kirtan because someone added Acha, Bolo, this.
Ah, ah, ah.
Ah, ah, ah. Ah. Did we get them all?
Gaura Nitya Nanda Bol.
Oh, yeah, just for Nityananda Bol, on and on and on.
Shouting.
Shouting. Prabhupada said kirtan is not shouting and screaming. Kirtan should be melodious, sweet and melodious, not shouting and screaming.
Warbling and trilling.
Warbling and trilling. Yeah, there's some people, they just to add extra to the kirtan, they do like a trilling. It's a sort of I think it's largely Latin American. They just add. So many different things. Prabhupada stopped the kirtan. He didn't say, well, no artifacts rules. Stop. So, of course, this is one entry, but there are so many different topics. What Prabhupada liked, what he didn't like, what to sing, what not to sing, what never to sing, what's authorized, what's bogus. And sometimes we hear the bogus stuff. Sometimes, often, we hear kirtan done in a manner contrary to what's called, but the way Prabhupada said it should be. And sometimes, often, we hear wonderful kirtan, beautiful. But if we want the kirtan to be wonderful, it follows that we should know what Prabhupada's instructions were. So I've written 2 books. One is Vanity Karma, that's for the outsiders. Insiders can read it, but especially meant for outreach. This book is especially meant for in-reach, for the devotees. Our hope is that every devotee, unless you have nothing to do with Kirtan, which is no, that every devotee acquire a copy and read it carefully. There are some definite surprises. There are surprises. Should we do an experiment? Who's heard that before chanting japa, so between rounds, we should chant the Panchatattva mantra? Who's heard that? Hands. Who's been told this is what you should do? Nobody. One. And what is the truth? Truth is Prabhupada never said that we should chant Panchatattva between rounds or on the headbeat or whatever we've been told. It's just not true. It's common mythology. And yet, typically in my classes, I'll find that like 50% of the students are shocked to hear that Prabhupada didn't instruct us to do this. So there's some zingers like that in the book, some surprises. Things that we, when we joined, that's what we told, what we were told, that's what they did, and that's what we did. And when you trace it back, not tracing back to the source of creation, it's tracing back to the clouds, because no one knows where it comes from. But it certainly didn't come from Prabhupada. So for all this fun and excitement, for all these really serious matters, because it's going to be in your hands to maintain the Krishna consciousness movement, push it forward, to continue the succession of teaching, and all us guys, prophets, disciples, we're dropping off the earth at an ever-increasing rate, and it's not going to be long before the last of us is gone. And even now, there's so many places where you help a disciple has never even seen. And it'll all be in your hands. So it's good if you're well informed about what it was that Prabhupada taught. And I wrote the book so that you don't all have to be around to answer the questions. So many questions are not answered in recorded form. Okay, that's the thank you.
There's a question from the
A question? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
This is about action, inaction versus
Action and inaction versus.
destiny.
This is totally a question which is nothing to do with this book and nothing to do with the class.
Maharaj,
But if you'd like to know about destiny and free will and those things, I talked about that in my other book, for which here's a card. And just, I can answer the question, but my sense is that there's a time frame. I have one also. I have other things that I do after the class. So if you have a question about the class, I'll answer it. If it's a general question, maybe you can see me separate to all of these devotees.
Maharaj, two Matajis wanted your book.
Two Matajis wanted my book. Wonderful, thank you. Here's one. And here's another. Thank
The question here.
you. Yes.
So,
You wanted the book also.
The question also.
The question also, okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So, what I understand is for the chant also, or there should be a cause that to be explained.
Yeah, chance needs to be explained. Why is there probability? What's probability all about? Why are there probabilities? What's the nature of probability? That's a whole, doctoral dissertation area or a whole department of the university. What is probability about? Where does it come from? That's a good question. We ask that. We know that there are principles of probability. Why? Ultimately, why? Why should there be probability? Any other question you ask? Why should there be gravity? Why should there be probability? Why should there be quantum superimposition? Why should there be whatever it is? Why should electricity flow? Why? And you trace it back. Well, you'll get an answer. Why? Because of this. Well, why that? Because of this. Well, keep going.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for this wonderful session. So Maharaj, when we read the Bhagavatam and
You are simple.
when we read Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Leela, the events happened in these books. Always, like most of the time, we feel that hopelessness to achieve the goal or bhakti. So how do we keep that hope always? Because we are surrounded with so much negativity.
By
So much negativity.
how do we read about bhakti and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya? How do we maintain hope? We can advance. That's answered the verse that what is that? Under the category Ashabandha. Someone have an answer to the motion around?
Yes.
All the questions are answered.
Chapter 18. Chapter 18. Please.
Yeah. This is the quality of the devotee. The strong conviction that one will certainly receive the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called in Sanskrit Ashabandha. Ashabandha means to continue to think. Because I'm trying my best to follow the routine principles of devotional service, I'm sure that I will go back to Godhead, back to home. That means, what is that? Nishchaya. In nectar and what would it call? Nishchaya. Confidence. Utsaha, to be enthusiastic, is going over. To be enthusiastic. And then nishchaya, to have confidence. I'm following the right process, I just have to stick with it. Where, I'm pregnant, well, it'll take a while, but I'm confident that after 9 months, there'll be a result. Not, so many examples. Patience. confidence, patience, Holiness Jayadvaita, perseverance or patience. I'll stay with it. Holiness Jayadvaita and Tata Karma Pravartana. I'm doing all the things that you have to do to get the result. Not that I just have enthusiasm and patience, and that doesn't it. I have enthusiasm, I have confidence, I have patience. I know that Krishna is very merciful. So even if I don't follow the principles, even if I don't chant 16 rounds, even if I don't do these things, still, no. So I have to do the work. And Sangha Tyaga, I should give up the association of materialists. That's discouraging association. They'll encourage me for material life. I should give up that. And Satopate, I should associate with devotees. I should work honestly. This connection, one prayer by Rupa Goswami is sufficient to exemplify this hopefulness. He says, I have no love for Krishna, nor for the causes of developing love for Krishna. And hearing and chanting. And the process of bhakti yoga, by which one is always thinking of Krishna and fixing his lotus feet in the heart, is also lacking. As far as philosophical knowledge or pious works are concerned, I don't see any opportunity for me to execute such activities. But above all, I'm not even born of a nice family. Bad background. Therefore, I must simply pray to you, O Bijana Ballava. I simply wish and hope that some way or other I may be able to approach your lotus feet. This hope is giving me pain because I think myself quite incompetent to approach that transcendental goal of life. Purport is that under this heading of Ashabandha, one should continue to hope against hope that some way or other he will be able to approach the lotus feet of the Supreme. Is that okay? Yeah.
One more question.
One more.
So, Maharaj, thank you for the Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for the class. So we touched very briefly on Sankhya, but I think most of the class was talking about numbers and chance and probability. So my question is around Sankhya philosophy, like how important
Anthropology. Your question is about?
Sankhya philosophy?
Oh, I heard anthropology. You could tell what's happening with my hearing. Sankhya philosophy, yes.
Yeah. So how important it is to know Sankhya philosophy and to what extent to progress in Bhakti Yoga?
It's important. Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pashyajyatmani Chadma Bhaktya Shruta Grihita. Why read books if it doesn't help? That's the position of the sadhus. We don't need books. Those who are just stuck on books, that's their problem. But we're for bhakti, we're for praying, not for books. No. Why is Rupa Goswami written so many books? Why is Srila Prabhupada written so many books? It's because knowledge is important. In connection with Bhakti Yoga, we're not interested in mundane knowledge, but transcendental knowledge. What is that? Vidramita Vidyate Tatsvayam Yogi. That should find. I just had that book. Nahi Gyanena Sadrasham Pavitramina Vidyate. Tat Swayam Yoga Samsiddha Kalena Atmani Vidyate. There's nothing as sublime and pure, purifying, pavitra, as transcendental knowledge. Tat Swayam Yoga Samsiddha. And one who receives transcendental knowledge, cultivates transcendental knowledge. In due course of time, Kalina will become Yoga Samsiddha, perfect in body. So this to understand the philosophy matters. Now, not everyone will be the greatest scholar, not everyone will fully understand everything. Who could possibly? But at least we should patiently hear these topics. Does Samkhya Yoga matter? Why is it presented in so many chapters in the third canto of Srimad? By the personality of Godhead. Lord Kapila. If it's not helpful, if it's not important, why waste chapters on the subject? So there are two kinds of Sankhya philosophy. There's the Sankhya philosophy given by Devahuti Putra Kapila. And then later imitating, there's another Sankhya philosophy which is atheistic. That one we don't give a hoot about. Here. But the Sankhya philosophy spoken by Devahuti Putra Kapila. Now you're in second canto. As you come to third canto, day by day you can study teachings of Lord Kapila. There's also another book while we're talking books. Gopal Gupta has written a book. Gopal Hari has written a book taken from his Oxford University dissertation. It's philosophy and Srimad Bhagavatam. I mean, I get the text right. A little technical, fairly quite technical, very informative. Maybe that's more of interest to those who are scholars. Very valuable. And even for devotees, it will explain things. And by the way, he didn't go to school. Didn't go to grade school, didn't go to high school. But home, he and his brother, and later they did their university graduate. And the book that's really to be recommended is the book that their mother wrote, Devi Dasi, Homeschooling Krishna's Children. We were talking about schools and that's one option for those who have children concerned about their education is homeschooling. I can't, who am I? I'm a Srinivasi, never had anything to do with kids except play with them. She has two sons who she and her husband homeschool, and they both professors. So she has the ICAR because of these things. And her book is adopted excellence, and I recommend it. It's available. Okay. Today's a big day for book recommendation. See, I don't just recommend it. All right. Thank you all.
Maharaj, Upendra Prabhu will give a quick class summary. Right, Meera, can you join?
Maharaj Veera wanted to start with 2 lines.
Oh.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for coming to our house. Some points I would like to share are that you said an intelligent child can ask this question, where did this world come from? And another point is that you told us, for example, what a watch and what it is, a watch, what does it do? It tells us the time, where did you buy from, what? Krishna.
Then there's a bigger question that comes up in the Bhagavatam in the third question. Where does time come from? What is time? The first one, what's a watch? Oh, it tells time. Then the next question is, what time? That's a big question. Third thing. Lord Field Day is teaching. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Also,
Thank you so much for gracing your house. You talked about intelligent inquiry, how Maharaj made inquiry to Brahma. He was seeking tattva. And we talked about the cause and effect. Never anything happens with chance. Those who inquired, as Maharaj inquired, they get to know that everything is controlled by the Supreme Controller. Talked about the 3 realities that work: material nature, the living beings, and the Supreme Controller. And that by patiently hearing Bhagavatam in sequence, the mind and intelligence are purified, revealing deeper understanding of everything. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Indonesia, Jayadvaita
the Bhagavatam.
Yeah.